Hello everyone. Welcome to today's IEG Founders Live Chat. We're just waiting for our guest today to join and then we'll get started. I see that the DYNE team has joined. Hello.
Hey Varsha, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh no, it's our absolute pleasure. So, okay, are you ready?
Yes, absolutely. Let's get started.
Okay, awesome. So we'll get started. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to today's IEG Founders Live Chat. My name is Barsha. I am the Community and Events Coordinator at Volition. And today we have Arnav Mishra, founder and CEO at DYNE Technologies, which is a user-based application aimed to help you connect with people from your community over food. Thank you so much, Arnav, for joining us today. It is such a pleasure to connect with you again. We met Arnav during the whole process of Valhalla Investment Summit earlier this month. Yeah. And today we get the opportunity to learn more about DYNE Technologies and about you.
Yeah, I'm quite excited to be here. Volition has helped me since, I guess, 2018, when I first pitched in the Vancouver Pitch Night. Back then, the events were in person. And now, like 2 years later, when I'm seeing myself as representing in the Valhalla Investment Summit, as well as like getting mentorship from Paul, it has been a great journey so far. So thank you so much for having me here. Let's get started.
Let's get started.
Share some love over food. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So first things first, Arnav, again, the purpose of this chat is to really learn more about your company, but also you. So I would like to start off by asking, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself? So what do you do and what does DYNE Technologies do?
Absolutely, I can do that. So, well, my name is Arnav and I'm a full-time entrepreneur and a part-time student. The reason I say this is because I have been involved with entrepreneurship ever since my first year at UBC. I have always seen that a lot of students have faced the challenge of meeting new people as well as forming some lasting connections. And with this, we started DYNE, a simple concept that connects people over the love of food, no matter which cultural background they come from or no matter which faculty they are in. We have helped more than 3,000 users connect over the love of food, meet some interesting individuals, and try the local Vancouver cuisines. With almost 40 different restaurant partners, we have had an amazing network of providing them some amazing events, deals, and, get all the foodies together in one room. So it has been a great experience. And I am currently in my fourth year studying business technology management at UBC, Vancouver. And it has been a great journey so far because I meet some good people in business. And at the same time, I'm running my business. It teaches me that business is all about people. It's about sharing the experience with people as well as learning from them. So it has been a great journey. And of course, Volition has been part of this journey. So I'm more than happy to share more about it.
Wow. Funnily enough,
yeah.
Up until very, very recently, I thought that you were an alumni and not still a student. I did not know that you were still a student. So that's very impressive how, you've kept going and look at how far DYNE Technologies has come. So yeah, wow.
Fun fact about me, I guess I'm 22 years old and I love water sports and food. But what you don't know is that I don't know how to swim. So I can do a lot of water sports, but I don't know how to swim. And it's a great fact. I mean, it helps me connect with people, give them a laugh. And of course, like running a business has no age limit to it. You can start a business when you are 15. You can even do a business when you are more than 30 years old. All it takes is the passion as well as a commitment that you want to bring a change in the society as well as, work with people and drive them together. So that has kept me going. And yes, I'm not saying it's easy. Being a student is difficult. Being an entrepreneur is even more difficult. But the journey goes together. And it has been an amazing one with a lot of lessons along the way.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I'm just going to talk from my personal experience. Okay, when I was still in school, I have this group of friends. I get this crazy idea. We discuss it. It has the potential to be like a business prospect. Everyone's so
Mm-hmm.
excited. We're like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then it all falls apart. But it wasn't the
Mm-hmm.
case for you. You know, you were able to maintain that idea and to build it into something. So
Mm-hmm.
what we'd like to know is basically, you know, how exactly did it all start? What was the initial idea? How did you get your friends to, you know, come on board? What exactly was the origin story of DYNE Technologies?
Right. So it actually goes back to a pre-COVID era in which all of us were meeting in person as well as, grabbing a meal together. Coming from India, I had always had the privilege of having a meal with my family. And no matter whether I was in school, I had lunch with my friends, dinner was always with my family. And when I came to UBC, I saw that everybody's so busy in their different lives. Like somebody is doing extracurriculars. And when I even went to intern in different companies, everybody was busy getting the job done. And I was like, wow, wait, why are you so busy? Like, why can't we find time to grab a small coffee or even a bite with someone? So that started the concept of something I called Food Buddy. It was essentially grabbing meals with your dorm mates or floor mates. When COVID hit, the entire operations shut down. Like you said, like there are a lot of projects you start in college, but it doesn't go through.
Yeah.
However, I was very lucky to find a group of individuals who still wanted to go on. So we decided to brainstorm. We decided to see it as an opportunity. We always believe that every crisis is an opportunity in disguise. So when COVID hit, we saw that the restaurant industry was suffering. More than 70% of the Canadian restaurants were filing bankruptcy, as well as had a lot of difficulties scoping up. My team back then decided to power me as well as tell that what if we can add value to these restaurants and what if we can bring in the traffic back into their seats. So we decided on forming Dyn, a new way in which we targeted both customers on like students, corporates, young professionals, and at the same time on the B2B side, we targeted restaurants and improvising their business by providing them analytics, by providing them online ordering and different services that will help them stand out even in the pandemic. So this started the journey. We set up a small team of students. We started with 4 people, and right now we grew to a team of more than 20 individuals coming from 8 different countries. And it has been expanding rapidly. We have shared the same interests, we have shared the same passion, and all of us believe one small thing that everything is good with food. So, fun fact in Dyn, if you have a conflict with me, it has to be resolved over a meal. So, if I lose an argument, with one of my tech members, CTO, or even my operations director, I have to buy them meals. And that's how we negotiate difference of opinions. And that connects us because that brings us to the same page. So what Dyn essentially wants to do is show people that there's more in which we can have conversation and we can support small businesses, especially restaurants, cafes, pubs, which have suffered during the pandemic and provide business back to them.
Wow. That's so interesting.
Thank you.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
kudos to you and your team, you know, to making that work.
Yeah.
Now, again, you mentioned that you're in your fourth year and your whole team are basically students. So,
Yeah.
could you just, you know, share with us how it has been, you know,
Mm-hmm.
trying to balance the student life while being an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur? So, how do you do that?
Well, honestly, it's kind of tricky. And to all the students who are watching this, maybe it is not an easy answer. It involves a lot of different time management skills as well as you to prioritize your commitments. But as a student, I've learned something. It's all about making sure that we live every moment. Students have this like they have this desire that they want to live each moment. They want to go to parties. They want to meet new people, and that's exactly what I do even while running a business. I've decided that I have to take the business each day at a time. I have to plan ahead, of course. I have to have the vision, but I have to make sure that each day I'm learning something new and I'm providing back to my team. So when you're a student, keep this in mind. And my concept is very simple. Let's say every one of us has 100% of life. That 100% is divided based on different commitments and priorities we have in different stages of life. Like right now, as a student, my priorities are academics, business, networking, and social life and family, of course. So I've decided that maybe I'll give 70% of my time to academics. Now I'm happy if I even get 75 or 80% because that's the time I'm giving to academics. I give about another 10 or 15% to networking and meeting new people. That brings it up to what, 80, 85%. And I'm happy with it. Then I keep the next 5% to social life. Like I am going out and enjoying my college life. And the last 10% to my family, making sure that I have time for them. I have time for my friends as well. And being available for the people who are in that stage of my life. So this helps me balance out my time. This priority tells me that, okay, when someone is talking to me, they know that Arnav is involved in these things, and I also know what they expect out of me. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, people need to understand that student entrepreneurship is the best time to start a business because you have nothing to lose. All you're putting in is your time. You have ample opportunity to fail, to pivot, and to learn from the experiences of your peers. Students support each other because they are all in the same boat. They do not have big priorities. They are ready to sacrifice a little bit of time and try to put in the passion and energy, which most individuals in their professional life won't be able to do it. So students are able to put in this time, but all they need is the opportunity as well as a little bit of support. And for that, I have started mentoring more than 30 different startups in UBC and giving them resources, which I did not have as a student. So with these young entrepreneurs, I want to empower them by telling them that there are different ways where you can start a business. It doesn't mean that you are alone. You are just starting something different than someone who has never done it before, but we can help you out. And that's exactly what entrepreneurship is. It's supporting people as well as providing you with all the resources that can help you scale up in the future.
Yeah, and you know, this is one of the missions that also Volition has, is to really help
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs. And
Yeah.
wow, so you're mentoring over 30 startups. That's
I mean, I can't say mentor. I can say that I'm a friend and I'm supporting them. I'm just sharing my experience and I'm telling them to not do my mistakes. But again, I don't know if they're listening to me, but I've been very happy seeing the success they have been having in different fields. I mean, they're in different industries as well. So it is kind of nice.
Thank you so much for sharing. And obviously, you know, like you mentioned something very important, is that students, this is the perfect opportunity for them to start something. And I think that fear of the unknown is something that really
Hmm.
stops and prevents, you know,
Yeah.
like students who are aspiring entrepreneurs who want to start the business, but you know, like that uncertainty is something that stops them. So what
Mhm.
you shared is very, very valuable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anytime. Yeah.
And yeah, so that being said, okay, again,
Hmm.
coming from personal experience, not
Hmm.
for as big of a project as having a startup, but let's
Hmm.
just take the example of having a simple group project for a
Hmm.
course. Oftentimes, like you would come to a situation where team members are not on the same page and there's some
Hmm.
sort of conflict. And I know that you mentioned, you know, like you solve everything over food. I
Yeah.
know you mentioned
Yeah.
that, but did you like ever come across such a situation where your team members were not on the same page? You had like an idea where there was some sort of conflict within the
Yeah.
team, and if so, how did you manage that?
Oh, this is like every day in Dyn. So the
Oh,
best part about working in a student startup is that you have a lot of young people pitching different ideas. But the worst part is that you have to make sure that everybody is heard. So one of the ways in which I resolve my conflict is first by listening. Listening is a very important skill. You have to understand the perspective and how other person is feeling about. I did mention in the beginning of this chat that business is about people. It's about understanding people and growing and working with people. So once I understand their perspective, I try to balance it out by showcasing the pros and cons of it. I do not portray my opinion directly. I just break down their opinion with pros and cons. And then I would ask him for external help as well. We try to pitch in ideas and see what does our entire team feel about it. It's not a one person decision. Business is not run by a single person. We try to comment on the idea and see the pros and cons. Once we feel strongly about certain components, we try to hash it down and start by understanding what our customers or our clients will feel. We work with our students, we work with different founders, we work with different restaurants, and we try to see what our stakeholders are considering at that point. And then that helps me resolve this conflict by then showcasing my point of view, saying that, okay, I come from this point of view with this in mind, and I think this will add value because XYZ reasons. And that makes people understand me because they have seen that I've analyzed the idea. If I walk into a room and I just say, no, this idea is not going to work, people will not listen to me because they will feel that Arnav is not listening and neither is he sharing any good, valuable feedback. So with listening, providing feedback, and then showcasing your opinion, you're able to make sure that the other person feels respected and their point of view is still there on the table. And while we do this, another part in Dyn which always resolves conflict is, of course, with food and drinks. We make sure that all these negotiations and discussions happens over food and drinks. And I guess my CTO Parsa might be watching this, but he remembers how often we go out on dinners because that's when we have to make difficult business decisions. And he's always there with me trying to, like he knows that I have a soft corner towards ramen. So he keeps on buying me ramen, thinking that I will actually have a soft corner. But Parsa, if you're listening, sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. But food does add in a component of making me calmer, as well as more open to criticism, as well as listening to the opinion which others have.
Wow, yeah. You mentioned very, very important, and
Yeah.
I would say key factors of what makes a really good leader. You mentioned being a listener. You mentioned, seeking external help. These are things that a lot of leaders tend to overlook. And so you've put that in practice and you've seen the results. So that's incredible. Curious, before I get into deeper thing regarding Dyn, what's your go-to ramen order?
Oh, interesting. So we actually figured out this new place called Tokyo Masasoba. It's Tokyo ramen. It's not ramen. It's not udon. It's something very interesting. That has been our favorite for this week, and we're actually partnering up with them soon. So if you are interested in checking that place out, download Dyn. And no promotions today, though. So yeah, that place is amazing. It has like 16 different types of ramens, as well as like masa soba, like they call it. And our to-go one is a spicy masa soba. So it has been really nice. I mean, I like spice. I'm a brown kid. I always like some spice in my food. So it has been a great opportunity for me to explore the local Vancouver cuisine, starting from Indian cuisine, Italian cuisine, to even Mexican. And now I'm trying out different Japanese cuisine, as well as some amazing, authentic Canadian cuisine as well. So Dyn has helped me figure a lot of stuff out. I'm happy for that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So just going back to, like the concept, like the topic about conflict and all that. So I feel like your take on how to handle a team and conflict is very interesting. And I'm just curious, how did you come up with such a perspective to look at conflict in that way?
Honestly, it's not like, I made mistakes. I learned, like they say, every success has about 100 failure stories associated with it. People just like to see the success, but there has always been mistakes which has been made in the past. So I have to owe this to my team that they told me what are the best ways of understanding people. And coming from about 8 different countries, my team is very diverse. We bring in different set of skills, we bring in different opinions, and that makes me always curious to learn more from them. It's about watching them work harder, as well as know that they expect certain things from me. This has made me do commit some mistakes, but those mistakes have been rectified. We always have some. So Dyn has this amazing thing called Gossip Girl. Are you familiar with the show Gossip Girl? So we have Gossip Girl to provide positive criticism to us, each member of the team. Doesn't matter whether you're an associate or even you're the CEO. We provide feedback anonymously to each other in order to improve our performance, as well as make sure that certain good qualities are stood out. So over like about 6 or 7 months, I have received a lot of different comments from my own team. And that helps me become a better leader for them. Because if I'm not understanding them, then I'm not even leading the team. I'm not even going to satisfy my clients, my users, and a lot of things, because they are the first line of defense for me. They are the first people who interact with me, and I try to learn from them. So with many of my experiences working in diverse teams, so I've worked with Deloitte for 2 years in 2 different summers. I've worked with different startups. I've worked on my own team, as well as in different areas of business. It has taught me how to actually appreciate people and make amazingly built teams. These teams are the ones which provide me the criticism, and that's what provides me a leverage or understanding how I can turn my failures into success. And that has helped me, avoid conflicts these days and somehow find a smart way around it. But again, let's be real. Conflict comes in at all points of business. No matter how experienced I am, I still face difficult conversations. And it's fine, because each conversation is unique in its own way. Something teaches you something nice another day.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, at the beginning of the chat, you did mention that, Dyn, the concept of Dyn came before the pandemic, and
Yeah.
it's really seeing how, restaurants and the food industry was struggling during the
Yeah.
pandemic, that you came up with even more of a
Yeah.
structured concept, right? So,
Hmm.
I think it's safe to say that we all know that the past couple of years have been very challenging for everyone.
Right. Absolutely.
Personally, professionally,
Hmm.
it was very challenging, and especially for entrepreneurs where there was so much uncertainty that some were either starting their own business at that time, or some
Right.
had to stop. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're comfortable to share with us, what has
Mm-hmm.
the past year been like for you?
Honestly, it has been a roller coaster. Like, I have had my highs, my lows. It has given me a lot of excitement, it has made me nervous in a lot of points. But overall, it has been a good year for Dyn. I mean, we just won the Valhalla Investment Summit, as well as just raised our entire pre-seed round. So it has to count for something. But again, it could not have been done, and it could not have been possible without my team. So big shout out to my team. And at the same time, it was not possible without the failures we had. So when the pandemic hit, more than half of my team resigned. They could not work, and they saw that this entire idea was not going to go ahead. People would stop meeting each other. When I approached restaurants, restaurants were desperate in partnering up with Uber Eats and other delivery services. But the main fact about each restaurant is that they want people to come in and sit in the restaurant. They want to serve people, and that is why the restaurants in brick and mortar industry exist. We targeted this customer segment, which was completely new to us. So we had to go through the entire customer discovery, market validation, prototyping phase, and all the work we had done for about a year before COVID completely went to waste. However, we took some key insights. We started making sure that we are still, down to earth, as well as we remember where we started from. So even though we had to start from scratch, I had to build a new team, I had to set up new milestones and plan it. It gave me a perspective that there were certain loopholes that I missed out on. We completed our customer discovery over the summer, and then we started building the prototype. We actually engaged with beta testers personally, and this time I got my hands dirty as well. I went and met with a lot of different restaurant owners. I met with the users who did their first meetup, and we had to incentivize them. We were quite fortunate that the student community at UBC did show some love and respect towards us, and they were able to see some value with Dyn. And we started to make sure that people feel that human connection. The timing also needed to be accounted for, because we made sure that when the vaccine distribution started, we were in touch with the provincial guidelines, as well as introduced new features such as contact tracing, making sure that there's SOS help and other features in the app which would make people feel it's easier. All of this came in on a challenge that many of us were in different countries, we were in different time zones, and we had to work all remotely. It was not easy. It was a very difficult time to coordinate text and chat. Some of my meetings were at like 1 a.m. at night. Some of them were like at 5 p.m. in the evening, because we had to coordinate different teams, different departments. My marketing team was operating out of UAE as well as India, and my tech team was operating out of Vancouver. My sales team was operating out of Mexico. So it was a kind of an amazing experience to actually indulge with different cultures as well as time zones and work styles. But that taught me a lot about establishing a team at a young age. And over the last couple of months, we have seen that this team has accepted each other's differences, as well as has known how to build upon our strengths. We have supported each other, and now we come along a long way, in which now we know how to get the work done. But that's not enough. We are now excited to take on new milestones and expand. And at the same time, we are seeing how we can provide value both to our partners as well as our students. So the last year has been rough, but what we look forward is always that silver lining in the dark cloud. So we have seen the silver lining that we can provide an impact in the community. And we are not just going to stop here. We are going to expand more. We're going to add more restaurants to our network. We're going to provide more value to the students and make sure that Dyn as an experience makes people feel happy, makes people feel belonged. And that's the connection which people have been missing during COVID. And that's exactly what we're bringing back. We're allowing people to socialize while being socially responsible.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Okay, it has been a very eventful year. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So okay, since you've touched upon like the challenges that you faced as a team and personally,
Yeah.
and definitely you had a lot of lessons learned, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
do you have any tips that you would like to share with our audience, or just
Ab-
in general to fellow entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I'll keep this short. So the first, there are three simple tips I will share. First is build. If you feel that you have an idea, build on that idea. Go out there, get your hands dirty, and make sure that you understand the basics of the problem. You actually do a deep dive in understanding where exactly the problem exists, how you can solve it. Second, test the idea out. Do not be shy. At this point, we can take some chances. Trust yourself and make sure that this idea you are putting so much time into actually adds value. And once you test it out, make sure that you see and reflect. And that is when you understand success. When you start becoming successful, look back at your failures, look back at the reflections on what happened when you were building and testing, and go back again to the first step and build better. So build, test, and succeed. This model has helped us keep being agile, has helped us being lean in a startup, as well as has made sure that we go back to the place we started from and we scale up higher and higher every successful round. And that is some feedback I've given to many entrepreneurs who work with me. That is the feedback I tell my team every day, every night. And like I always say, live every moment so you can learn new things, you can see new things as they come your way.
Yeah, that's very helpful, especially
Yeah.
I've been having this conversation with a lot of my friends where,
Mm-hmm.
like in today's society, we are mostly living a robotic way where we're just, like waking up, getting the work done, and that's it.
Right.
Whereas you're
Mm-hmm.
actually teaching people and students, entrepreneurs to really make the most of each and every moment while getting the work done. Just incredible. Thank you so much for sharing.
No, no worries. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Yeah.
Um, well, we're almost at the very end of
Yeah.
this chat. So before we end everything,
Yeah.
you mentioned how this year was eventful and you mentioned the Valhalla Investment Summit, but did you and your team have any other, big announcements or news or wins that you wanted to share with us today?
Absolutely. So I guess this past month has been very exciting for me and my entire team. So we are very excited to launch the Dyn app with an amazing radar feature. It's a map-like feature which allows you to find restaurants around you, filter it based on popularity, wait time, and even find friends who are free to grab a meal with you. This will allow people to have real-time meetups and have spontaneity in their schedules. We are all busy individuals, but we want to make sure that the little amount of time you have the best experience dining with a fellow buddy or a fellow friend. And with that being said, we were nominated as UBC's top innovative projects. And of course, coming first in Valhalla has helped us close a pre-seed round. But yeah, we are still looking for amazing team members who can join our experience and build this team. And we are, of course, looking for investors and mentors. Volition has been a great platform for me always to showcase my journey as well as get tips from entrepreneurs like-minded individuals like me. So thank you so much for always supporting the entire entrepreneurial community in Vancouver. It has been a great experience so far.
Yeah, no worries at all. And
Yeah.
congratulations are,
Thank you.
are in order for you and your team for achieving so much throughout just a year or like you mentioned, like the past month. It's very, very impressive.
It has been an exciting month, but we are not stopping. It's just the beginning. We are going to start doing more things and keep an eye on us. We might surprise you soon.
We definitely will. Well, while you're saying that,
yes.
What is your vision for DYNE Technologies?
Dyn in every pocket. So essentially making sure that no matter where you are in the world, no matter which country or culture you come from, there's always a place for you. And that thing which connects everyone is the love of food. So the concept is simple. Everybody loves food. Food connects people. We have to make it effortless and fun. And that's Dyn for you.
Wow. Okay. Well, again, earlier you just mentioned that you're looking for people to join your team and you're looking for investors. And having mentioned your vision, how can we as a community help you reach that vision or even achieve your goals?
Start using Dyn, start getting a coffee or a chat with me, and that will help me understand what are these passionate individuals who are willing to join the Dyn experience and build this team. We are looking for passionate individuals. We are looking for mentors and investors who share the same love of food. So you have to be a foodie first, and then of course a professional in your respective field, so that we can work with you, take your experience and build it on together as a team. And we are more than happy for anyone who has a passion towards food as well as loves food to reach out to me. I am available on all the social platforms, Instagram, Facebook, email, LinkedIn, you name it. And yeah, the world is a small place. And if you can't find me there, then there's always DYNE, and I'll always be available in DYNE.
Yeah, okay. So for
Yeah.
our audience watching, if you would like to connect
Yeah.
with Arnav and the DYNE team, you can do so on Facebook and LinkedIn at DYNYVR and on Instagram at Dyn.YVR. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
you can
that's
also check their website at dynubc.ca. And of course, check their app. Is it available on only App Store?
No, it's available on both App Store and Play Store. And in the next upcoming week, we are launching a big update that will help people indulge, engage, and get the true DYNE experience at their fingertips.
Awesome. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
So
great.
One last thing we have, we usually like to ask before ending our chat is, what is one thing that brings you joy currently?
Sorry, can you please repeat that?
What is one thing that brings you joy currently?
I guess waking up every day thinking, what amazing things am I going to explore today? So my day is packed with, of course, me going to classes, working with my team, but it always is filled with one surprise element of a new restaurant I'm trying out, of a new person I'm meeting with for coffee chat or something. That keeps me live the moment as well as be excited for what's happening. And that's something all of us in DYNE believe. We try to explore new places, meet amazing individuals, and support the restaurant community. And that has helped me bring joy today as well as currently, because I'm really excited. I was excited this morning to even have a chat with you as well as share my experience. And this is something I don't do on a regular basis, but each day has something on its own. So that's why I always tell people, live every moment so that you have something exciting each day to make you happy, to give you the joy. And if you're happy in the small things, then when the big successes come, you're going to take it by your way.
Definitely. I completely agree with that. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, Arnav, this has been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, learn more about DYNE, learn more about your perspective and your way of thinking, which is honestly very different, and it's incredible, different in a really good way. So good luck to you and your team with everything. And
thank you.
Yeah, thank you to our audience who tuned in. And again, if you'd like to connect with the DYNE team, at DYNYVR on Facebook and LinkedIn, and at Dyn.YVR on Instagram, and their website, which is dynubc.ca, and their app. Don't forget to check their app. I will.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Varsha. It was great talking to you. And happy dining. So see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.